Isso would it be that sometime in the day that there will be a sort of so you result to my work financial this reality is a part of business matter. And if there is now a swap, is it not a question to and the person would not I will be the law. You don't have a law from again, the system is simple.
Hello, ano ba
We know how to several
Ako na lang ba? Bismillah, normal internet. Si audio, bismillah.
say
Wala ko di binubdin eh.
nothing is one it's simple. Yeah, it's not we see the seal comes to on when we trabaja es comes to work on goes on before being something facing down town getting snap. And again, like, what kind of man us? the Camara master, first say that I will be number. I am like to give money. The beginning of the you have said yourself here that the actual structure is so that you control by that. Well, you have to clearly as a leader, as a society, never confirm. Who could say the same that it was a city so
Hello.
even if you are not
Kaya internet living room में customers ना Wah,
but at least they have a degree for decoration. But when it comes, when the chips are down, for us to do the digging, you can dig. Is you bring important point. The particular level need for the uh, those who will rise to get the ranks from, let's say, a cleaner. There's nothing wrong with that, or to be a CEO. But you are saying, from what I understand, that that seems to be the culture. That instead of trying to get the best out of a proper recruitment structure, there is no recruitment structure in council. That's true. And again, if you look at it, if you look at it by extension, somebody as an acting admin manager who should be the scout master of the campus to make sure all rules are observed, lights out, coming on time, going on time, reports, all that. He does not even know. He doesn't even know his TOR. All that he does is to be used as a weapon against staff that they think does not belong to their thinking or linkages or political inclination. That's all they do. All the admin director does is to follow people. So, what is the relationship between the administrative branch and the political branch? The CEO staff, as the senior management, and the mayors and council. What is the working relationship? The working relationship is one of kung fu, it's one of coercion, it's one of psychological torture, it's one of fight and bullying and all that. It's not healthy. Why do you say that? Yeah, it's what is happening in BCC. Because I went there after a few months. Every day I have to drink tablets day and night to get my headache. Once I get to the campus, my headache goes up because we call a meeting, no minutes, and from 12 midday to 4 p.m. is you said, she said, they said this. Do you have senior staff meetings? Yeah, we do. How often? Uh, when I was there, we meet at least once every fortnight. Once every fortnight. Yes. Where do you meet? Location CEO, location both mayor's office, but office of the CEO is the designated place that. And who would be present in the staff senior management meeting? Yes, senior management meeting. All managers, all directors should all directors should be present, and all managers should be present. But that's not the case in Banjul City Council. Why? Yeah, because still, as I earlier alluded, there are people that they never called them to general to senior management meeting, and they are managers, the likes of Sandy Ginjai. And then again, we went to a point. I told them when I joined them that we have to, because it's one of the things that I have gleaned from the three external audit report that I have, that management meetings are not taking place. So I tried my best to say to my CEO that we need to hold these meetings and document them well. You mean there were periods that you were not having senior management meetings? Yeah, before I came, it's in the audit reports. I can see everything. That BCC do not hold senior management meetings. And even if they are held, they are not documented. But again, going into also documenting minutes, you have people that are very good, managers, yeah, that are very good in script, like Sandy Gijai. But what we have to do, because They said Sandigi is not supporting their agenda. So you get the mayor's agenda. So you have to go out and hire a minutes taker. With all the staff that you have, there is nobody that the CEO can identify and tell you, let me do a unit transfer or a departmental transfer or employ. But what you will do is to hire a minute taker.
You mean there was a period you guys BC hired a minutes taker?
Yes.
A scribe?
Yes. When there are people in-house that could do it.
When was this?
Throughout 2021, 2022, 2023, until I left them there. I don't know still whether C is there.
Who was hired?
Adam Anjay or something Adam. It's a lady.
Okay. And how was the person hired?
How?
How was the person hired?
The CEO should be better to explain how she was hired.
You don't know?
No.
You have no idea?
Yes.
And the person's job is just to take minutes of meetings.
Take minutes and other duties that the CEOs maybe are. Anyway, I saw her come.
No, please speak to the microphone.
I saw her come and taking our minutes, and she was not a staff.
Okay. In your statement on the heading BCC EU Austin Project Steering Committee Law, it should be, the pages will have numbers on the 6th page. You were part of the steering committee of the BCC Austin project, correct?
As I said in my confirmation, yes, no, yes.
Okay.
When I can I
Yes, of course.
when I joined the council in November 2020,
right,
I found the project there, and I went to the CEO. I said, CEO, all projects must have a steering committee.
Yes.
You cannot roll out a beautiful project, a pioneering project like this one, with the promise that it could be extended or another project might come after this one. You need to have a steering committee. And again, when he did his consultations, he agreed. But for me, I must mention here the time that I've been with them, 3 years with my CEO. He is not independent. He cannot take decisions. He has not done the job judiciously and honestly to the portfolio that was given to him. Even if you ask for a toilet key, CEO must get approval from the mayor.
Must get back to?
Must get approval from the mayor. So that has belighted.
So the mayor takes all decisions.
Yeah, that portfolio. The portfolio of CEO for me sees the mayor's CEO, sees procurement. She wanted
He
to
is the mayor's CEO.
C is the mayor. C is also the CEO. C is also the procurement manager. She also wants to be director of finance. I said, and once we go
How can the mayor be the director of finance?
Yeah, because you have to call the shots. If I want a staff, you want to bring as director of finance. If I request for a staff, you want to bring your relative. I said no. The job that I want must be put on the papers because we want a qualified person to come and you ask for it. The staff does not come. Your relative does not come. Staff does not come. That's number one. Number two, as that of finance, looking at the financial accounting manual of local government authorities.
Yes.
Powers of the data finance, she will strip it off the data finance and give it to the advisor and the CEO. Example is all revenue earning books of country.
Right.
Section 204.
Yes.
Of the finance and accounting manual.
Right.
And its tiny subsections said all
you memorize that?
Yes.
Section 204.
Yes, section 204. And its attendant subsections.
You are right.
A to V said give powers to direct finance.
Yes.
But no. Because she will strip it off and give it to people that she wants. I said, no.
Give us examples. So
example
that we will not be talking about
Example is I have a police report. I've been arrested by 11 policemen in my office one bright day, taken to Banyu Station to hand over the revenue earning books of council. I said over my dead body, or a termination letter, or a dismissal letter to say I am dismissed. I hand over and they take their books. But these books, according to the act, are my powers. I'm not handing over because it gets to a point. It gets to the end of the year. They wanted to go and do the invoicing. I said no. I've been here 2 years, and I have said before, and I'm going to say again, the revenue is not coming. This time around, we're going according to the textbook. Do have a team. The team, you can select your team. Get the team to register all businesses in Banjul. Once we have that register intact, the trade license manager officer can go and invoice. Once they invoice, the collectors can go and collect our money. But once I said this, hell broke loose. And in the ensuing pull and push, I was detained at the station.
You were detained?
Yes, I was detained.
When?
I have the newspaper cutting and everything attached. I'll forward it to you.
Okay.
And again, the CEO, and then after the 5 months of deliberation,
just note it as per instructions.
Yes. So
Yes.
after 5 hours, the station officer came back. The gentleman said, "You are 6 of you versus Mr. Camara." But what Mr. Camara is saying, he's going to the act. He is showing us his powers as per the act.
Why were you detained?
I was detained because I don't know.
No, you know.
I sat in my office. I went to work as a director of finance in my office. 11 police officers appeared. I said, "What's the problem?" They said, "You are wanted at the station ASAP." I said, "Can you people go?" I'll come. They said, "No."
What was the complaint about?
That I refused to hand over the revenue earning books of council
To
Bacheli.
Bacheli is the chief of all accounts.
The CEO.
Yes, but would that be wrong?
Yeah, it's very wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Yeah, because the act said it's a delegated responsibility. Because Bacheli is not the data finance. Bacheli is also the cleaner.
What do you mean it's a delegated responsibility?
Those powers are Bacheli's powers, but the custodian is the data finance.
Look, you see, for everything that you can do as director of finance, Bacheli can do.
Yes, yes,
See,
yes,
that's how it is.
yes, yes.
So for everything that is your responsibility, for the most part, Bacheli has a responsibility to do.
Yeah, but again,
except for very, very key things like raising vouchers, because there should be segregation of duty. But when it comes to having custody of books of accounts, even the law also gives Bacheli as CEO the powers to account for these books of accounts. You understand? It says the chief executive officer 202 of control shall be appointed by the Local Government Service Commission as prescribed in the Local Government Act. Now, as the accounting officer of control, he or she shall be responsible for the general management and supervision of the financial and accounting operations of councils and the safeguarding of council's assets in accordance with the relevant sections. Now, he is personally responsible for the due performance of all the financial duties of council, the observance of employees of council of all financial and accounting instructions issued from time to time, the proper disbursement of such monies from the purchase of goods or acquisition of service for the day-to-day administration of the council, ensuring the adequate steps are taken for the proper control of financial transactions, the general management, supervision, and production of the accounts of council. And the list goes on.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So I am not talking about your arrest, whether it is
Yes.
or not. I'm just saying that requesting certain books from you, yes, accounts from you, may not be unlawful.
Yes, but if you look at the finance and accounting manual of the government authorities, section 204.
Right.
The director of finance.
Yes.
The director of finance is the head of the finance department.
Yeah.
of the council and shall be responsible
Yes.
for overall coordination and control of accounting functions of council,
Yes.
supervision of accounting staff,
Yes.
production of annual financial statement, interpretation stroke analysis of the accounts.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
will be specifically answerable
Yes.
to the CEO for
Exactly.
the following duties.
That's it.
Yes,
That's it.
yes.
So
But again,
that caveat is very important.
yeah, but again,
It's extremely
having said, you request for me to hand over the revenue earning books of council, to hand it over to another portfolio. That was the issue. The finance manager.
Oh, you didn't say that initially. You said
Yeah.
it was a request to hand over to the CEO.
Yes, because
That was what you said in the beginning.
it's a developing story.
Yes, you
So
now
again,
proceed to hand over to.
I don't have a problem handing over, but handing over to a junior because I have a system that I have proposed to you that will bring
That I agree.
Thank you.
With you cannot hand over to the finance manager for the duties that you are delegated to you by the. Now you had said in your statement with respect to the Austin project. By the way, there was a loan that was rolled out for a certain period. You were present when the staff or the steering committee were benefiting from loan scheme.
Yes, I was.
And what brought about this loan from the BC Austin funds?
Yeah, what happened? I think it was around Tobaski,
Yes.
and then the steering committee put the motion that we needed the project to give us something like a 1/6, a 1/6 sort of. So by looking at it, there is no 1/6. We said we qualified it as a loan. So that was the genesis of giving. I think it was 33,000 to each steering committee member.
It was qualified as a loan.
Yes, it was qualified as a loan.
It was during Tobaski.
Yes, and deducted from source in 6 monthly installments.
It was during Tobaski.
Yes, around Tobaski. Is it Tobaski or Korite?
Yes. One of the first.
Yes.
And is it the steering committee that had a meeting and agreed to this? You said?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then the CEO is aware.
He's the chairman of the steering committee.
The mayoress is aware.
My reporting lines are not through the mayors. The CEO should do that. I don't know where the mayor is. I can't.
You had kept accounts of this project. There was a 3 million euro.
Yes.
For the BCC Austin project, and then also a contribution from council as well.
Yes.
And through the steering committee, you had a loan. Sorry, you had an allowance for, is it every sitting or every month?
Every month.
Every month.
Every month, yes.
Why would the allowance not be for every sitting and not every month, as if you are being paid? You are working every day on this project.
Yeah, at the time when it was being coined as an allowance, your suggestion was not one that hit the table. And I think if at all it was a suggestion that hit the table, we could have looked at it.
My suggestion.
Yes.
I said
that let me be passive.
yes.
And again, making it passive.
Why was it not on the table? Why was it not on the table?
Because we just thought it for record keeping, and then for the frequency of raising those payments to make it a monthly allowance will be more.
But you want to discuss the issue of the BC Austin? You had your normal duties. You have your normal duties as CEO or finance director or whatever the case may be. And so, how often would you be meeting as the steering committee to discuss the austerity?
No, I think during the time that I was there, because I was part of the steering committee
Right.
for a brief moment. The time that I was there, I think we meet weekly or sometimes bi-weekly.
Yes.
To give.
How much was the allowance?
The allowance, I must refer to the records to.
You can't remember how much you were receiving?
No, I can't, because I've been out of the project for 2 years. So
you need time to check the record.
Yes.
Okay, we will come back to that. But then, Mr. Camara, you had this allowance every month being paid.
The Austin project, yes, allowance monthly. Yes.
When the allowance was increased,
Not during.
Not during your time.
No, I was not.
The project could have accommodated your loans, the loans that you guys contracted. Do you think there was sufficient funds to grant the committee $33 each for the Tobaski or the corrected period?
Yeah, this loan was deducted from source.
No, no, not the payment, not the deduction.
Okay.
Do you think you are an expert in fact?
Yes.
You have a project that is supposed to be managed. There's a steering committee meeting. There's an allocation funds for the project. You think that monies from that project should have been distributed among the steering committee members by way of loans because of Korite or Tobaski or even Christmas or New Year?
No, here we're talking about 330,000.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
The amount, even $1,
Yes.
doesn't matter. I am talking about the procedure. I'm talking about the legality of the process, not the amount. $300 is maybe a lot that can go towards making sure a certain project in the project document is fulfilled. Is another case.
Yes. At the time, the cash flows that we had could have supported it, and it supported it. That's why
That's not the
we gave it out.
That's of course $3 million. Then $300,000 will have a space in for any form of loan that you will have and that you can recoup at the end of the day. I am saying whether it was lawful, whether it was normal for you to have a project, but then the committee members were being paid giving loan. Was that
Depends.
correct?
Yeah, council. It depends. It depends on how you say it. But at the time, we have something in the project that we call the indirect cost. And then this indirect cost was a lump sum of money that will cater for emergencies, that will cater for other budget lines
Where's the emergency?
that were not conceived
So
as at the time of the drafting of the project concept note.
you think the project concept note would ever factor in festive period? You think that? Do you genuinely think any project concept note would ever factor in a festive period that the staff will be given loan?
No, here you have to look at the context and the game.
You and I know how it works.
No,
No, Mr. Kam.
cancel. Can I comment? Yes. What I'm saying here, I sat here and said it was given against the background that it was either quality or Tobaski.
That is, in fact, the fact.
Yeah.
I am saying that that is not correct. Do you think that is correct? Remember, this is not BCC giving out loans that would have been proper under the circumstances. There is a full-time employment that the staff have, and maybe a budget line for this, which will factor in the staff's needs and concerns in these times. Even government will give 1/6, to motivate the staff so that they will not really get in certain practices during this period. This is a project.
I agree.
It's different.
I agree.
Yes, it is temporal financial activity where you have a project document, a project policy, and everything, and you have a target to achieve within a time frame. Money allocated for that. When you were asking the donors money, you would never say that we would want you to, part of the money will be used to give the committee some monies for loans. That would not happen.
Yes.
They would not give you $3 million.
Yes. Yeah, I concur.
Exactly. So that is totally different from the aims and aspirations of everything surrounding the project. So do you agree it was unlawful? It was not correct.
Yeah, it was not a good practice.
Yes.
And I think moving forward, we take note of that, and that's why we have internal audit. That's why we have.
Let's not move forward so quick.
Yes.
Why? It was not a good practice.
Yes.
But you people did not know that now. This was known to all of you because all of you were seasoned. Most of you were seasoned, except for the last of Makumba Sane, who was just whisked into the system because of favoritism. And that's the hard fact. That's the truth. But for someone like you, you are highly educated.
Yes.
The CEO, I don't know his educational background that much, but I assume he would be educated to a certain degree. You have a project manager. There would be qualifications for this post. So what the presumption would be there would be a degree of academic qualification and experience as well.
Yes.
So you guys were in the position to know that that practice was not correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah. Wrong is wrong.
It's
I
wrong.
can't. I can't make it right.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So we move on.
Yes.
Was that money recovered? Do you know?
Yes. Unfortunately, after 1 month, the steering committee was disbanded
By
by the mayor.
why?
I don't know.
Okay, but then still your salaries were being paid for your permanent employment. Why did you guys not continue paying the loan?
You have to see. If I were in this position,
I asked the finance director and the CEO, the two people who are in charge of the accounts of council.
yes. But again, I was not. I was dropped, or I was not part of the new setup.
But you have a loan you have contracted.
That's true.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and as a finance director, it is principle that monies be recovered, even a dollar.
That's true.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
If
But
anyone owes BCC, it is your job to
go
make
after them.
sure you go after it.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So why did you not pay your loan to
Yeah.
start it?
Yeah, because technically, what should happen? If you if you if you disband a steering committee,
Right.
you should have the audacity to write to every member that is not part of the new setup, and even the new members that you take,
Right.
write to them officially that you are no more part of this steering committee.
Right.
And again, by this letter, we are copying the data of finance to do the needful as per your liability.
Yes.
But who am I to deduct your salary without an official communication? When the CEO, through the mayor, disbanded the steering committee, a letter should have come, or a general notice. Moving forward, this is the new steering committee. The old steering committee is normal. Copy the Director of Finance and say, Director of Finance, please do the needful to recover all liabilities that are owed. Look, with that document.
Look, is that supposed to be a very effective procedure? Yes.
Yes, but
Yes, but in the absence of that, you had said there is it's two worlds apart between the mayors and what you are used to now. Then it means you did not expect that kind of administration because of the person that is the mayoress, as far as you're concerned, is probably not very fit.
yeah, and I followed them. For me,
Yes.
I followed them to say, write to us.
But pay. Just pay.
Pay. Yes.
Just pay.
Yes. Personally.
Yes.
Personally. Yes. Yes.
You have been spending.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Just pay.
Yes. I concur. But again, it would have been simpler because with loans, you don't negotiate. It's deduction from source.
Just pay. You know
Yeah.
you're supposed to pay.
Yes, right.
Your part, you're no longer in the steering committee. Just pay. That's not.
I agree. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
So that we would not be blaming the mayors for not. That is supposed to be a good practice. But for not doing that, you guys, each of you people were in a position to know what is right and what is wrong.
That's true.
Yes, and therefore, it almost seemed that, well, if you look at the BCC Austin project, I call it a failure. And we will hear the evidence until this is proven otherwise. I don't see the success in that project overall. Huge sums of money. The procurement was done outside the Procurement Act and regulation. There was an issue of favoritism, who you give contracts, which kickbacks are going to fall on whose hands, and therefore, a project of that magnitude, you achieve this.
I see your platform. I concur with you. What you say is what I say. I agree to what you are saying. But again, in the testimony, you've not looked at the first page of the Austin project. My testimony.
Yes.
The first page will give you a background.
Let's go there.
Yes, go to the first page.
Yes. What about the first page?
Yes.
What about the first page?
Yes. I in summary there, I am telling you, I was taken out of the steering committee because I just wanted to do my job.
Yes.
And they thought I am delaying, or I am not, and should not be part of the steering committee.
Yes.
And then what ensued? That's what we are all witnessing now, including you giving that testimony that for you it's a failure, because if you have taken certain steps and guidelines, we could have mitigated a lot of problems that.
First page you said that before that's the bottom. Before the disbanding of the original steering committee, I refused to sign a check of 900,000 for visibility, and that could have been the only crime I committed for the total dissolution of the committee and its subsequent replacement with another one, with me, and as key as my rules and responsibilities are, as that of finance were concerned and ignored with impunity. Said payment was crafted, organized, and prepared by the CEO, the project manager, Mam Lai Jase, and project manager, Alfuseni Gano, respectively. The project coordinator, Mam Lai Jase, and project manager, Alfuseni Gano, respectively. He held broke loose when I refused to sign the check. Yes, you spoke about a check of $900,000 that was signed.
That was supposed to be signed.
Was it not signed by the CEO?
Yes, he signed it.
Yes.
Yes.
And you were supposed to sign for the withdrawal of this amount. Why did you not agree with it?
Yes, because what happened is the magnitude of the project. And
Yes.
for me, I said, and I'm going to say it again, that if the project was executed properly,
Yes.
with a passing, another project would have replaced this one.
Yes.
And the benefits is for all Gambians, especially Banjulians.
Right.
But having taken up my responsibility as that refiner to vet or look at every payment that land on my desk and to do justice to it. When this check came on a Friday afternoon for me to sign, I told Gano, I can understand visibility that you can request for 75,000, 100,000 and retire. But signing a single check of 900,000 for visibility.
What is visibility?
Visibility is promotion. It is about awareness. It's about education. It's about selling out or making the project reach the doorstep of every Banjulian, by extension every Gambian, and communicate the benefits that this project will bring. To create awareness, either through radio, television, billboards, town meetings, you name it.
So they want to withdraw $900,000 in the name of advertising the project. Is that a simple way of putting it?
Yes, for me, that would be right.
And so what is the procurement involved, if any, for the visibility or the advertisement of the project that would amount to $900,000? Was there any document
No.
in relation to procurement?
No.
In relation to who has to be paid, what media outlet must be paid, what amount for it to be $900,000? Do you know?
No.
So on what basis were they seeking to withdraw this amount?
Maybe they can explain better. But for me, when it came, I said, I can't sign this. And then
who was involved in this?
I know Mam Lai Jason, Alfuseni Gano, and Mustafa Bajili. And Bajili sat in his car and tell them to bring the check that we signed. Then when
they came to you
on a Friday, yes.
Where were you?
I was in my office. I always was late.
And they drove together in one vehicle?
No, Bajili was in his car.
Okay.
Then Gano came from the project office.
Yes.
With the check to say, we want your signature. I said, what is this? They said, visibility. I said, I can't sign this. What I can sign is go cancel this check, raise 75,000, 100,000. If you retire, then we can give you more. But I cannot sign this check for 900,000. So Gano walked out, went to Bachili. Bachili was in his car. Then Bachili walked in, took the check himself, came to me to say, Gaine, don't sign. I go, I can't sign this.
How did you call you Gaine?
Gaine.
That's how you guys call each other?
Yeah, he told me, Gaine, no sign. I can't sign this because cash flow management. Yeah, 900,000 is 1 million. Whatever is going to happen here towards Monday, 100,000 can do it. And again, I don't see any supporting documents for me to
Yes.
so for me to do the needful.
So what happened?
So what happened is he walked away. Then on a Monday morning, that week, the committee is disbanded.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I'm out and forgot to.
Was he out?
Who?
But Mr. Bacheli?
Oh, they coined a new they coined a new steering committee, and you can look at the portfolios, the qualification, and the position of the new steering committee. And again, having said that, the project document explicitly said the director of finance must be a member of the steering committee.
Yes.
It was not an issue of he agrees or he doesn't agree. And again, it's very healthy in a group when there are people that can always tell you, I don't agree, or can you speak again, or can we do this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So when the project was disbanded by, you believe this was the reason that it was disbanded?
Yeah, for me, yes. Because they wanted me out. And then in going out, they have to also take other people out and say we are downsizing. They have to justify their action. But I told them, whatever you do, you're breaking the law. Because I have not done anything. And again, it's my job, not Camara. It's not me, but it's the position.
Was there a letter to disbanding?
Exactly. That's where the problem comes. Verbally they did it. To this day, they have not written.
How did you get the news that you were no longer a member of this steering committee?
Yeah, because they are meeting. But we are not alone. And it was verbal. And again, for me, I had a checkpoint that I waited for them. Once I was out, they still wanted to bring checks. I said no. Clarify my status before I sign. And I have the documents here to tell that. And in those communication, I wrote to them a memo. They wrote to me a memo. They wrote me a memo to say refusal to sign checks. That's the memo here from the CEO on the 8th of February 2022. Refusal to sign project checks. And I also responded on that same day. Refusal to sign checks.
Right. This was after you were no longer
Yes.
Invited in the steering committee meetings.
Yes. Yeah, because once they disbanded the steering committee, what they should have done administrative-wise and correctly and legally was to write to us a general memo or individual memo to say you are out and copy the data finance say, moving forward, please do the needful. I would have been deducting from source paying for the loan, but it was verbal. But for me, I stood my grounds to say I'm not signing until you give me a document. So they wrote to me, refusal to sign a check, and I responded.
Yes. Honorable Chairperson, we apply to tender two letters. The first is a memo from the Chief Executive Officer, addressed to the Director of Finance. There's a witness accordingly testify, Mr. Momodou Camara. The date is 8th of February 2022, with the subject refusal to sign checks. The second is the memo from the Director of Finance and Chairman, Finance and Procurement Committee, to the project manager via project coordinator via CEO and steering committee chairman. The date is 8th of February 2022, with the topic refusal to sign checks to be admitted into evidence and marked as exhibits.
A memo dated the 8th of February 2022. The memo emanated from the Chief Executive Officer and it is addressed to the Finance Director. It has the subject refusal to sign project checks. It is copied to the Lord Mayor, Project Coordinator, and a file copy is maintained. A memo dated also on the 8th of February 2022. The memo is addressed to the project manager via project coordinator, via CEO and steering committee chairman, from the director of finance and chairman finance and procurement committees. It has the topic refusal to sign checks. It is copied to the mayor, acting director of administration, acting director of audit, project coordinator Austin, project manager BCC, and a file copy is maintained. These two documents are admitted together as exhibit in evidence and they are marked as LBC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/005.
As the commission places. Yes, Mr. Camara, so the memo from the CEO reads, I am of the belief that you are really sounding illogical about the above subject. And so you have two memos as well from the CEO. I'm not sure whether we have.
No, one from me.
Please come again.
I replied when he wrote to me.
Two from, yes,
One from him.
He responded again.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. I was just trying to. Um, we applied to tender another memo from the CEO. It's also dated 8th of February 2022. The subject is refusal to sign project checks. It appears to be the first memo after the reply from the finance director. Then we have the second memo again the same day. So we have three correspondents the same day.
The memo dated 8th of February 2022, it is from the CEO, BCC. It is addressed to the finance director. It has the subject refusal to sign project checks. It is copied to the Lord Mayor, project coordinator, and a file copy is maintained. This memo is admitted in evidence as an exhibit and it is marked as LBC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/006.
As the commission places. So you received a memo from the CEO and it reads, I write to officially inquire from you about the refusal to sign project checks. This tantamount to delays in the project's implementation. Then the Lord Mayor was copied and the project coordinator. You responded, correct?
Yes.
The same date. It reads your response. I wish to refer to you a resolution of the steering committee meetings and minutes that I, as chairman of the finance and procurement subcommittee, must never sign any checks until when the said committee sits and vet them. This is my position till a new resolution replaces it for probity, efficiency, and attainment of project goals. I suggest you normalize this situation and not try to south for administrative lapses. Scout for administrative lapses on my part for reason best known to you. I wish you a pleasant day. You also copied the mayor, director of administration, director of audit, project coordinator BCC, project coordinator Ostend, and project manager BCC. There is also a response from your response to your reply. It says, "Oh, reads, I am of the belief that you are really sounding illogical about the above subject matter, as you have rightly mentioned, in the absence of any resolution to be passed by the General Council relating to the downsizing of the present project steering committee, makes you still eligible to sign the checks pending an official instruction to hand over to the finance manager of the project." Now, this was the communication you've had with the CEO. Yes. So how did you resolve this?
How I resolved it is,
How was it resolved, the situation?
it's not resolved to this day.
So you never continued to sign checks?
I never signed. And then the finance manager sat in this very humble chair and said, all expenditures of the project are signed by the CEO and the director of finance, which I think was not doing justice to the subject matter. He should have told you that all project expenditures and contracts and procurement are signed by me as finance manager and the CEO.
Now, how many accounts for the project?
The project had two accounts.
And first account?
Basic bank and trust bank and a dollar account.
So that's three accounts.
Yes, 3 accounts. Yes.
You have the basic bank?
Basic bank dollars account,
Yes.
dollar account.
And you have $1 and $1 account for basic.
Yes.
And then
trust bank, dollars account. Eco Bank also later on, I think trust bank, Eco Bank, because of I think banking, whatever. Is it congruence or banking? Because they are bank in Holland. I think it's easier to get the Eco Bank app than the other bank.
So there's also an EcoBank account.
There's also an EcoBank account, yes.
So there would be 4 accounts,
yes,
with 3 banks.
Yes, 3 banks.
And each of these accounts were managed by BCC?
We are managed by
BCC.
Yes.
Okay. All of it, including the EcoBank account.
All.
So it means the finance director is the usual way. The finance director and the CEO.
Yes. And if there's a third secretary, according to the act, the finance and the finance and audit act of local government councils, 3 signatories to all council accounts. That of finance, the CEO, and the admin director.
Yes, admin director in the absence of CEO.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if you are no longer there, how did it change to the finance manager? How was the finance manager authorizing or signing checks?
You ask the CEO how they do it. For me, once this letter I wrote, they wrote back to me. I never see checks. I never go to meetings. I never get paid. I'm not involved. And they carry on doing their things.
Okay. I see in your statement too that you are the chairman of the procurement committee. Is it the procurement committee of the project or the procurement committee of the country?
Yeah, you know, when we advised, when I came,
Right.
for a year, this project was going
Yes.
without a steering committee.
Right.
And I think that's a reason of discussion to ask the CEO, how can you get a project? For a year, there was no steering committee. But when I joined, I said, no, we have to get a steering committee. For getting the steering committee, we were all in good stead, wishing the project well and doing our job. So we divided. We looked at all the components of the project and set up subcommittees for the project. We have the finance and procurement subcommittee. You have the visibility subcommittee. You have monitoring and whatever committee. So greening committee. So we have all the subcommittees. All the subcommittees were working and will convert when we meet to give their reports on what they've been given for the week or for the month to achieve. Things went well. We even had a retreat and we had the best ever ranking of procurement. So, but the project, or yes, for the project.
Okay.
And again, there we identified.
Best.
Pardon?
How did you have? What do you mean when you say you have the best ranking of procurement?
Yeah, because what we did was we invited the steering committee to go to Strand. We had a very good procurement officer that came
From
from the local service commission called Ibu Keta.
okay.
Ibu came, and then we all these tenders went to the media, and people responded, and then we all went. A 2 days retreat, we were able to go into a classroom session in the lead of the procurement senior officer Ibu Keta.
Right.
And all these contracts were given into lots and all that. So when we came back, Ibu left. Ibu left for his investment to him. And I told him that, look, the SPU has always been struggling to survive in Banjul City Council. And I am new, you are new. Love this country, let's soldier on and help us. But if you go out, it could spell doom for not only the project, by extension, Banjul City Council, because we definitely need an independent, specialized procurement unit. Keta left. When he left, the project got disbanded, and their team went to work. And now we are where we are.
Were all payments during your time? You were there in 2021.
Yes.
The steering committee.
Yes.
You were there for a year or two.
A few months. I think I was there for 6 months.
6 months.
Yes. And then again, I've given you one issue. When I lie on my bed, I ask, why did they boot me out of this project? That's number one reason. And the other number two reason was there was a payment of 2.5 million.
Yes.
We paid to a company that's associated with the mayor. It's mayor's friend's company.
2.5 million.
Yes.
What is the name of the company?
Jida Trading. 2.2. 2,268,900,000.
From the project funds.
From the project fund.
Was paid to Jida.
Yes, Jida Trading.
Jida Trading.
Yes. And then when
you were there.
Yes.
Okay.
And this was the only big payment during my tenure.
That you regret.
That was paid.
That you regret.
I regret.
You get to have regret.
No, I didn't say that. What I said.
I didn't say that. I'm the one telling you that you appear to have regretted the payment.
No.
Why is it issued there?
I'm bringing it forward for you to understand the genesis of where we are.
No, I understand that. I understand. I'm just saying that the 2.5 million payment paid to the mayor's relative.
Yes.
Right? What's the name of the individual that owns Jida? Do you know?
Mariam.
Mariam what?
I don't know his own name.
How do you know that person is related to the mayoress?
It's the mayor's friend.
Friend?
Yes.
Okay, they're friends. How do you know this?
Yeah, because she told me.
Mariam told.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and what is it supposed to be for?
For personal protective equipment, PPEs. Yes.
Do you have, what are you looking at? The voucher? Is that the voucher?
Yes. So just to clear.
Is that the voucher you're looking at?
No, I'm looking at the interchange.
Okay.
Yes. So when that payment landed on my desk, I went to the CEO. I told him, CEO, I am not comfortable signing this payment.
This 1.5 million.
Yes, he said, but this guy has already has already delivered these goods and all that. I said yes, but the attaching paperwork is weak.
The attaching paperwork is weak.
Yes, it's weak, and then the protocols are faulted.
Do you have the voucher?
No, I don't have the voucher. I have the memo that the memo that the CEO wrote to me. I told him, for me, I am new, and then these things I don't understand. But if you want me to sign it, give me a memo, giving me, authorizing me to sign.
Let me see.
Yes. But in saying that, we had the resident, we had the resident, Austin project manager in the Gambia. He comes quarterly.
Yes.
And then this time of this payment, he was in town, Jonas. And Jonas used to bank on me a lot that I'll definitely do my job independently.
Right.
And Jonas came and then told me, Momodou, this thing is coming. Don't sign it.
Don't sign it.
Yeah, don't sign it.
But you still sign it?
Based on that letter.
No, you've already had it. Anyways, we'll come to that.
Yes.
We apply to tender a memo from the CEO and steering committee chairman to the project coordinator EU Banjul, date 9th of February 2021, with the topic request for payment of the PPEs to be admitted into evidence and marked as an exhibit.
A memo from the CEO and steering committee chairman to the project coordinator dash EU Banjul. It is dated the 9th of February 2021. It has the topic request for payment of the PPE. Yes. And it is copied to the mayor, BCC steering committee chairman, BCC director of finance, BCC, and a file copy is maintained. This document is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/007.
Ask the commissioner, please. Now, there was a payment of 2.5 million that you had to sign as per instructions by the CEO.
Yes.
And the payment was supposed to be made to Jida Trading.
Yes.
Who is a friend to the mayor.
Yes.
And it is for personal protective equipment, right?
Yes.
The exhibit reads, I wish to request the payment of 2,268,900 only to Jida Trading and $152,100 to Banjul City Council as per the enforcing the contract of, excuse me, it's the way it has been written. As per the enforcing the contract of one for the supply of the PPEs. This brings the total contract sum for the PPEs to $2,521,000 only. The payment to BCC is for withholding taxes due to government on standard terms. This decision was taken in the last meeting of the steering committee of the 4th of February 2021. So, in effect, what they are asking for or what the CEO, to be specific, is asking for is a payment of $2,268,900 to be paid to JIDA.
Yes.
Because they won as per bid for the supply of PPEs.
Yes.
And an extra 2,500,000, sorry, another extra $202,100, which is supposed to be the 10% withholding tax to be paid to GRE. Correct?
Yes, please.
Yes, and the total of which is $2,521,000.
Correct.
And so you requested that a memo be sent to you authorizing you to pay, right?
Yes.
Did you, and you signed the check?
Yes, I that when I got this memo, then I signed it.
From which account? Do you recall?
It's one of the accounts.
You would not recall right now. And so payment was effected. Were you aware of the procurement?
Yes, basically, I was not. I was aware of the procurement, but again, where the contract started and where it finished, I was not in council
You're
then.
not present.
I was not present. But again, I had a very good working relationship with the Austin resident in the Gambia.
Yes.
And if payment lands on my desk, I'll always refer to him that please, Jonas, please advise.
How do you do this? Via email, via WhatsApp? How do you do this?
Oh, he comes to council every day.
He comes to?
He comes to council every day.
Okay. When he is in town?
Yeah, he's in town. And again, to say I'm sitting before the nation, he has invited me, which is co-partner Peter. They've invited me for dinner once.
Okay.
We go out and then talked about their ambition for the Gambia, for Banjul, and for the project. And they really count on me to definitely help support the project and do what's right. And
so Johannes asked that you should not. He warned you that there is a payment that will be requested.
Yeah, for the PPEs, yes.
But you should not sign it.
Yes.
Did he tell you why?
Yeah, I think it was goods of inferior. The goods were inferior to the standards, to the specifications. Yeah, specifications, yes.
But you were not there when they were supplied.
No, no.
You had no dealings with this particular supply. But he warned you that the goods did not meet the description according to the specification.
Exactly.
All right.
And in the same vein, when Mayor perceived, or when her intelligence gave her that I have a good rapport with these Christian people. And again, I also asked Director of Finance, knowing the role Austin played for us to get the project. I wanted the things that I do, I always copied them. And the mayor has to come out and say, if you copy Austin, no members, don't copy me. If you write and copy Austin, there is no need to copy me as mayor.
Why?
For best things known to her. And that's a memo that she sent to me.
Okay.
To say whatever is happening within council and in my purview as Director of Finance should stay. I should not copy Austin.
Whatever happens in Vegas must stay in Vegas.
Yes.
Okay. See, Mr. Camara, this is important.
Indeed.
It's important because the way I see this is such that no wonder the project failed. Because there was no transparency.
Yes.
There was no proper coordination.
Yes.
The rules were flouted. Monies were paid anyhow. And certain people seem to think that because you are the head of an institution, being the CEO, administrative director, finance director, as the case may be, or mayoress, as the case may be, things will have to work the way you want.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
We apply to tender a member from the Lord Mayor addressed to the Director of Finance. The date is 8th of February 2022. It says writing of memo. So some of your subjects as well, the language,
Yes.
really.
Yes.
Corporate is the chief executive officer.
A memo dated 8th of February 2022. The memo is from the Lord Mayor. It is addressed to the Director of Finance and it has the caption, writing of memo. It is copied to the CEO, BCC, and a file copy is maintained. This letter is admitted in evidence as an exhibit and it is marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/008.
As the commission places. Now, what was your response? Did you reply to this memo? Did you reply?
No, because for me, I always track the line of care, and then being the mayor that she is, I heard what she said.
What do you mean being the mayor shoes?
Yeah, because I have suffered a lot in 2, by extension 3 years working for Banjul City Council, all just trying to do my job. And again, the funniest thing, because the whole nation is watching, is the people that came to office as general counsel in the first tenure of the mayor. And mayor then had more votes in general council than them. And mayor being what she is, ostracized that group of people we call councillors. But when it comes to my job, I always do my job. Whether you are a councillor on the right or on the left, when I'm paying allowance, I pay. When there is salary advance and they come, they knock on my door, I approve. When there's anything to dish out that this council should get, and any information that hits on my desk for consumption, I will give to all. These people, through thick and thin, I, in my office, catered for them. When the second tenure came, they became a majority in general council. Mayor used them against me.
How?
By going to council in a general council meeting in November 2023 and pass a resolution. They couldn't pass a resolution to be sitting, but they coined after all that has happened in the project, all that was happening to BCC, and they knew my stand on it, and I documented every inch of it. They wanted to bury me. They went and took a resolution there to say that all the financial problems of Banjul City Council, by extension of the project, is caused by the Director of Finance. So being the case, we're going to send the Director of Finance on administrative leave
In
in 2023. 2023. When that happened, they couldn't mention it to the General Council meeting. The mayor has to invite the willing in her office and gave them an A4 paper to sign.
Invite who?
Those councillors, except one. Sehjam was the only councillor that said no. with all that the Director of Finance have done for us, and you people, you know the problems. You want to send this gentleman away based on your politics and tricks?
I think you are free from the problems, but I also don't think you are solely responsible for the problem.
Exactly. So when they did it, they signed in mayor's office. Each of them signed on that A4 paper, and they were all given each $2,000, and the letter was sent to the ministry. That's administrative leave. That's the letter they sent. And again, when it was sent, I also sent a letter to the minister.
Yes.
What they were saying was not correct. The true state of BCC, this is the true state of BCC, and I also wrote the letter that followed that letter, and that ended up in the general transfers. Because when I came with my facts and my evidence, they knew that they were just trying to throw me under the bus. I was not the problem why they were in that situation.
Right.
So that culminated in a general transfers of civil and direct of finance. That saw me go to Birkama and saw Bachili go to Mansakong. I survived in Birkama. Bachili couldn't survive in Mansakong because he does not work.
You don't seem to have a very good relationship with Mustafa Bachele.
No. We have a very fleet relationship. But for Bachili, he is possessed in the sense that he will not work in the absence of Katim Ture, that of planning and development.
And you also refer to him as just being a CEO for the mayors.
Thank you. It's the reality.
Huh?
It's the reality.
We apply, send the correspondence address to the chairman of the Government Service Commission, recommendation for leave. And a response to that recommendation by BCC for the finance director to be on leave addressed to the chairman of the Government Service Commission, signed by Momodou Camara, the director of finance, to be admitted into evidence and marked as exhibits.
Thank you very much.
The Banjul City Council Office of the Chief Executive Officer, a letter dated the 9th of January 2024, it has reference 95 stroke BCC stroke 102 stroke in brackets 1 stroke volume 1, addressed to the chairman, Local Government Service Commission, the quadrangle. It has a subject recommendation for leave. The letter is signed by the CEO and it is copied to the Lord Mayor, BCC, Acting Director of Admin, Director of Finance, Director of Audit, Chairman Establishment Committee, PS, Ministry of Lands, and a file copy is maintained. Attached to the said letter is a memo dated the 4th of January 2024. It has a subject management meeting with revenue heads, and the venue is Office of the CEO. Attached to this memo is also the minutes of council revenue base, that is rates, license, Albert Market, ETC, and AOB, that is the agenda on the minutes. And these minutes are signed by the CEO and they are prepared, the minutes are prepared by Adam Afai admin. There's also a letter, a memo attached to the earlier letter, which is dated the 22nd of November 2023. It is from the CEO addressed to the Director of Finance. It is copied to the Lord Mayor, Director of Audit, Director of Admin, Director of Planning and Development, and all councillors. It has the topic lesson driven from management meeting on the audit responses and the way forward. There is also a memo dated the 10th of January 2024. It has the subject Emergency Establishment Committee meeting with senior management, and the venue is Office of the Lord Mayor. And attached are the minutes. The minutes are signed by the CEO and the Adam Afai, admin officer, is the one that prepared the said minutes. There is also a memo dated the 28/29 August 2023. It has a subject management meeting. The venue is Office of the CEO. And attached thereto is also the minutes of the said meeting. And it is signed by the CEO and Adam Afai, that is the admin officer who prepared said minutes. There is also a memo dated the 22nd of August 2023, and it has a subject management meeting with the Lord Mayor, and the venue is the Office of the Lord Mayor. And attached thereto is the minutes. Unsigned minutes. There's also a memo dated the 4th of July 2023. It has management meeting and the venue is Office of the CEO. And attached is also the minutes. They are signed by the CEO and Adam Afai is the admin officer who prepared the said minutes. And the final memo is dated the 21st of June 2023. It has a subject management meeting and the venue is Office of the CEO. And attached is the minutes. They are signed by the CEO and Adam Fai is the admin officer that prepared the said minutes. These documents are admitted in a bundle together. And okay, I have one more document. There is the document dated the 15th of January 2024. It is addressed to the Chairman, Local Government Service Commission, and it has the topic that is the subject recommendation for leave. It is signed by Momodou Camara, Director of Finance. It is copied to the PS, Local Government and Lands, Lord Mayor, Chairman Finance Committee, Chairman Establishment Committee, all councillors, Director of Internal Audit, and Acting Director of Administration, and a file copy is maintained. These documents are admitted together in a bundle as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/009.
As a commission, please. The memo from the Lord Mayor that you referred to, Mr. Camara, reads, I have received copies of memos from you, which you have copied the project coordinator of Ostend. Please bear in my mind that memo deals with internal matters, and if you wish to copy Ostend, I urge you to put it in another format. Please do not copy me any memo in future that is also addressed to anyone outside the institution. But this is a project, Mr. Kamara.
Yes, please.
And the project is BCC Ostend project.
Thank you.
In fact, without Ostend, you cannot
Thank you.
go on with this project.
I agree.
And there are representatives of the Ostend side that are really participating, like Johannes Peters,
Yes.
effectively
Yes.
in implementation
On the ground.
on the ground of this project.
Yes.
So why would the memo state that they should be excluded from communications from you?
Reason best known to have.
But what do you think?
It's not correct. If Austin is a good brother, elder brother of BCC, and we've benefited, before I go to council, we've benefited multi-million projects, exchange visits, a lot of laptops and computers and goodwill gestures. And again, when we even applied for this project, they told us we must have an EU partner, a EU resident partner. So often, Banjo is Austin. For me, anything that is for public consumption or for management consumption, as far as this project is concerned, the two representatives that are in the Gambia should be in the know.
But even administrative procedure would dictate that your main line of communication would be, your primary would be the CEO.
Yes.
And so if the mayor is copied, the mayor is just copied.
Yes.
Right to her directly, the mayor is. And so you had always said that she acts as both the mayoress and the CEO at the same time.
Yes.
And in your statement, it reads that I will be brave. I will be very brave. That is on the VCEU Austin Project Steering Committee loan heading. But I'll be very brave here to say the CEO surrendered all his powers, rules, and responsibilities to the Lord Mayor and advisor to Mayor. Is that Makumba?
Yes, Makumba, yes.
You believe that these two were running the country in all aspects?
Yes, because the CEO is not available. It's not there. He appears physically, but in essence, no input, no impact, nothing.
All right. So what a lucky mayor she is. The administrative arm of council is BC is dead, poorly staffed, poorly oriented, poorly managed, poorly exposed. Only yes and yes men in administration, headed by the CEO, and the total absence of no checks and controls that is desperately needed to balance things, and in its absence, lots of power remained and is vested in the politicians, and they run their chambers and also control the administration arm.
Yes.
That is administrative arm.
Yes.
CEO Bachili and crew are tough on staff and weak in implementation of their roles and responsibilities as employed staff. And it has culminated into lots of internal resistance and staff feuds. over the years, leading to ombudsman and legal tussles for council, costing us millions of dollars in the process. Is that true? You have financial losses in relation to the inactiveness or inefficiency of the CEO.
Yes, of course.
Any situation you want to state?
Yeah, because in management, what I studied,
Yeah.
in management, managing people, the model of what I've studied, they
Yes.
say tone from the top.
Yes.
The way the CEO dress is the way the eye is him, the way he dresses, the way he speaks, the way he acts, how he comes to work, how he delivers. He is the mantra of any institution to get it right. If the CEO is not in order, or that institution,
So what you guys have legal issues?
legal issues like,
You said legal tussles for council costing us millions of dollars.
yes, yeah, we are always in court. We are always
For what?
for attestation, for social media, for somebody not paying, or somebody that wants. This is what we are always in court. Or the camp that existed when they were fighting in the first council. They were at war, and they were always in court, as is the bar versus the men. Even when we go to general council, we can hold the meetings. So they resulted in the courts. That has cost us a lot of money. The attestation has cost a lot of money.
What about the attestation?
Pardon?
What about the attestation?
The attestation was contested by the bar. I think the rest is on social media, and I'm not a legal person, but I can dig into the archives.
Yes.
And give you
Right.
the bar and who sued the mayor for the attestation, for attestations and all that, and then we have to get lawyers to
represent.
Yeah, to represent them.
Now, how many lawyers? Do you recall?
No, I don't recall.
Now, you went further. In the world of Bangladesh, the council, the mayor is in charge of all things, and she decides who, when, how, and what in all related activities of council, be it staff, financial, and others. She also proposes all agenda points to be discussed at board management and at general council meetings. She selects who sits at the meetings and where one is stationed, and who is in and who is out of management team and Senate committees. Everything that revolves around council, both politically and administrative wise, were decisions that the mayor takes. She is lucky to have a CEO like Bachili, who does not care at all and doesn't take up his role and responsibility as CEO, and all powers end up going back to the mayor. We are all exposed, and all the problems of BC are caused by the lack of checks and balances in our roles and responsibilities. If where we bank was influenced by the mayor, and when and what loan and overdraft facilities we entered into are decided by her, then we are doomed, and we are. The advisor to the mayor, that's Makuba Sane, right?
Yes, Makuba.
Said she's the most feared and powerful man in council, and runs a terror regime among staff, branding and profiling each staff member as pro-mayor or against the mayor. Now, she decides, as far as you're concerned, where you back with. She decides which bank you bank with. How do you get this communication? Have you opened new accounts when you became the CEO, the finance director?
No, when I became director of finance, we reduced the accounts that we hold, and again I found these accounts. I found these accounts already open in my absence. But with the basic bank, my visit there, I was clearly told that mayor, prior to being a mayor, was their very good customer. And again, in the same vein, Trust Bank used to be the main banking partner of BCC. So when mayor assumed the pendulum swing towards Basic Bank. Now, Basic Bank, as we speak, they are our principal banking partners. So you can connect the dots from there.
I'm not going to connect any dots, Mr. Camara. I'll just be hearing evidence from you. As a director of finance, you have your team, you have your department that you manage, correct?
No.
No. What do you mean now?
Yeah, because I found a skeleton staff there.
What does that mean?
I found Ibu Drame.
Yes.
I found Jatupen.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the two people that are found there. The cashiers are the cashiers. The collectors are the collectors.
Yes.
But these people are my immediate support.
But you have Ibu Drame, who is what?
Absconded. He absconded.
Yes.
Yes.
Was the finance manager?
Yes, acting finance manager.
Finance manager.
Yes.
And Jatu?
Jatu was acting senior accounting.
How many accounts clerk?
When I came there, I was none. In the interim, we had Keba Jen and Jorge Purbari, who I recommended to management to take based on her past performance when I was running the Ocean Bay Hotel and Resort.
How many? Go ahead.
Yeah, because she came. One of the standing out audit queries that I inherited was missing vouchers, missing documentation, receipts, and all that. So she came on board and was able to zip that corridor. So we had our receipts retired. We had our vouchers well kept. We have our unfinished signatures, especially CEO. She will follow the signature every day. Make sure whenever Bacheli is in, a part is waiting for him to sign, so that we can do the necessary filing and all that. And again, part of the 29 steps that I gave you,
Right.
I knew that I needed to take up the job myself. I created for the first time an archive, and then gave one of the accounts assistant that we just recruited, Keba Jeng, with grade 12, to tell him that these are the archive, all documentation that we have done with, lock, close, keep the keys. You are holistically responsible because we never have an archive. You look at our documentation, you go to BCC today, you ask them, where are the 2018 payment vouchers? 2018 and beyond, you cannot get the document. So I know that if I am to survive in this terrain, I must go the extra mile.
So there should be vouchers for all payments.
Exactly.
And it should be in the archive.
Yes, but there was none.
And it should be recorded in the cash books.
Exactly.
How many cash books?
We have the main cash book, one
Kept by
Jatupen.
Jatu.
Yes, Jatu.
And then do you have a paid out cashier?
Yes, we do.
Do you have a receiving cashier?
Yes.
Do they each have cash books?
Yes, they do.
So there should be 3 cash books.
Yes.
In council.
Yes.
One is the master cash book.
Yes.
And 2 is the paid out and receiving cashier's cash books.
That's true.
These are to be present in basis.
Exactly. And all collectors
is subsidiary cash books.
Subsidiary cash books.
Okay.
Yes.
So as the finance director, you had Makumba Sane given the position of an overseer of revenue of license collection.
Yes.
How did this happen?
Yes, as I said, peace over all denominations. Peace is paramount. So when I
Peace
came,
is paramount.
yes, peace. Meaning when I came and inherited the department,
right,
inherited the processes,
right,
the actors and the departments and all that, I tried to be meticulously clever in having a working relationship with everybody,
right,
to get to where we want to go.
Yes.
So I found Makumba in council as revenue overseer.
Revenue overseer.
Yes.
What kind of position is that?
But they gave it to him.
But what kind of position is that?
If I'm trying to do justice to the topic, Makumba is present. He is, as far as finance is concerned, my department, and being a revenue collector, Wherever the revenue is, Makumba is there, serving interests and observation of the Lord Mayor. For me, I don't have a problem. I said, the more controls you have, the better.
That is not a control.
Just finish. The more controls you have, the better. If they are telling me, if my new masters are telling me, this guy is going to be overseer, he will help me get A, B, C, and D. I'm not coming there to fight. I am coming there to contribute to what they are doing positively.
Yes.
So in that, if I come and found him there, since 2018, he's been there doing his things with the team. If I come, I just needed to study. But again, I work with them 2021.
So what does Makumba do in revenue? What does he do? We have evidence that he, for instance, in the license department, he will go with is it Pavudu? No?
Yes,
The license acting manager
yes,
to issue invoices.
yes.
We have seen Makumba's accounts. We have seen huge sums of money by way of transaction in his account.
Mhm.
And so it's true that he issues out invoices. Is that a fact?
Yeah, what happened? The system has a problem, and then it will take somebody very committed, very brave, fix it,
Yes.
and that's exactly what I did.
Right.
And then, but again, when I did it, I end up at the police station.
You find Makumba issuing invoices with
Yeah, because what's happening is you employ, you are seen, you sit there as the company chief executive. You are the accounting officer. You sit and employ a grade 9 dropper, or you employ somebody without the prerequisite qualification to head a unit in Palmer now.
yes.
So, you employed him. And you also have to look for life support. You have to look for Makumba Sane to help him do his job. That's your problem. And if I come and found out council have been operating before I come in this way, and even then, I reshuffled the pack. When I came, I reshuffled the pack, rotated the staff. But again, what did I get out of it? Fights. A gentleman sat here, Mustafa A.B. Sal. I called all the team in finance. That for me, I don't see man or woman. I don't see particulars. All I see is the job. The best men in the best zones. The people that are sluggish, we give them the $10 ticket. I will suffer the part. And I did. When I did, AB Sar came out last from trade license. He collected the least amount of money in 2021. I wrote to him that I have moved you to the market. But guess what? What? He took the letter. He wrote a letter. That was approved. When I wrote as department head, responsible for rotating finance, I gave it to Patin. The appellant supported my decision.
Yes.
Every Sar was called by the Lord Mayor. Buko Fane, put them fen, Kirul. Work started. I told him, sir, I have transferred. You better move. He said, boss Camara, no, I didn't buy. Give me. He never took up the transfer.
Memo transfer.
Yes. I don't have it.
Please note it down. It's already one. We'll come back after the break.
Thank you. Thank you, James.